And we are back recording episode 64. This is the radio show about nothing, turn podcast about nothing. This is your boy DJ Ish. I haven't introduced myself in a while. I always do games. So to my left, I'm gonna introduce him again. Co-host, co-creator, co-owner, former point guard, recording artist, flag football quarterback, meal prepper, meal prepper.
That's not even true. It's disgusting. I've never understood that.
Oh, yeah,
why? Before we get started, why would you cook dinner for Friday on Sunday night?
I ain't gonna lie, that shit. Listen, I'm a fat nigga, so I was late to discover what meal prepping was just in general, because that shit don't hang around my type of circles. Niggas, I hang with not meal prepping. But when I found out what meal prepping was, I asked him like 3 times to explain it. It was like, yeah, so this Sunday, I'm gonna cook a bunch of chicken, bunch of rice, and I just divvy it up throughout the week. I was like, so throughout the week, like you're gonna make more, like you buy one big pack of chicken, you just keep it like no, I just cook what I made on Sunday. So Thursday night, you gonna heat up that chicken breast?
That is crazy. Why would you do that,
bro? Even at schools, they make your food like a day before. Like they don't go like 4 days without making you a meal,
bro. And I'm all for it. All right, let's double cook. So we're gonna cook some spaghetti, and this is gonna be for Tuesday and Wednesday.
Right? Hell yeah,
that's cool.
Right.
But you cooking chicken breast and rice and broccoli for Friday on Sunday at 4:00 is absurd.
That's crazy.
Stop it, you sickos.
And you know what it is? It's for niggas in relationships and niggas with like real locked in on their health.
Yeah,
because I can't no bitches over and we're eating and I like heat up some chicken like regular single women like if I invite you over and she's just hungry and she opened the fridge and it's 5 chicken dinners.
It's 5 plastic containers. That's when you get one of those. So what's that?
Yeah. Well, you all right?
You okay?
She gonna think I'm committed or something. Like I'm sick in the fucking head.
Who that for?
You got kids? That's what I would do. If I open the fridge and it's 5 lunches made, I'm like, yo, is this some little niggas running around here?
You got a daycare in this bitch? No.
Bro, either that or you work at the only niggas who can meal prep like construction site workers, like niggas that gotta like eat their food in 25 minutes.
Yes.
Building like you niggas with regular jobs, fam.
And you work 12 hours. You working 10, 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
Getting home at 7, waking up at 6. Like I get that.
You niggas with regular lives, bro. Stop.
You regular life. You work from home and you meal prepping, dog. Stop being lazy and just.
And my question is, if you meal prepping for a reason, you gonna meal prep every day for the rest of your life till you die.
Real quick, fitness people, do you know, if you just stick to a diet for 3 months and then move on from that diet, once you lose the weight, you're gonna gain weight again because you're not sticking to a consistent diet. The point of dieting is to change your diet completely forever, ever. Yeah. So it's something you can maintain and not just you binge eat a certain way and lose 10 pounds. You're gonna gain that weight back.
Yo,
I don't know how that's not. That's basic math.
I just mathematically.
It doesn't.
All right, stay with me, because listen, this hits fitness TikTok niggas. I'm gonna get crazy hate mail, but stay with me. It's 52 weeks in a year. Yeah, you telling me you going grocery shopping 52 times the whole year? Like you're cooking 52 times in a year?
Like be quiet, bro.
Like you're eating like a pit bull,
bro.
Yo, just get HelloFresh, gang.
Salute HelloFresh. That's a good way to meal prep. Meal's halfway done. You kind of just gotta warm it up.
This shit ain't sponsored either. This off the top. So
never
go crazy.
Hey, but y'all, we looking for sponsors. You
HelloFresh hit me.
Let's partner up, man. And speaking of that, subscribe,
please,
like, comment. Yep. We appreciate you for tuning in.
Send this to somebody meal prepping.
Salute to G6 for tapping in last week. Again, I said she'll be on in the next few weeks. We have a guest next week. So again, if you would like to come on, DM us on all of the socials in the bio. And let's get right into it. You know what we're here to do, bro. Like I said, we're gonna have guests every couple shows. So the sports talk will be for one show usually from now on. The summer don't matter, but up until basketball season is over, it'll kind of be like that. So real sports heavy. You know what's on our mind. You know what time it is. It's a championship weekend. It's a man's game. It's a man's game of man games. What I love about the NFL, man, is that the best of the best gonna win every year. Yeah. Even if you come in week 7, somebody look like the best. A lot of Eagles this year, the Cowboys every year, damn near. Like by week 14, week 1 of the wild card weekend in the playoffs, you know who is the best. Right. You know who is the top of the top, who is in the middle of the pack, who might get lucky. And this year, I really think we got the 4 best teams in football.
Oh, for sure.
In the conference championship. Yep. No question. I think the Ravens are the best team. I think the Chiefs have the best player. I think the 49ers have the best the best play caller. And I think the Lions have the most riding going in, and the most what's the juice behind them right now? Momentum. That's what word I'm looking for. So let's take a step back, jump into the divisional games from last week, because we didn't even really do a breakdown of those games because of the show we had last week. So kind of let's go through those first, and then we'll go into the championship games. We can start with Tampa Bay and Lion, the Detroit game, because don't think we have too much to say on Tampa Bay. I think they exceeded expectations. Salute to Baker. That last pick broke my heart for you. Didn't think y'all was going to score, but going out like that shit broke my heart. Second player to drive, season, I'm like, damn, bro.
Fuck it. I love it, bro. Salute Baker first. Extra $750K from the wild card round. Salute to you. You got a crazy bag coming to you this summer. You earned it. Salute. They was whooping you. It was whooping you the whole game. Behind that pass rush, you didn't flinch. You hung in there. Salute for real. My only takeaway from this is Jahmyr Gibbs might be Jamal Charles, but we said this on the show a couple weeks ago. But that cut he made, Winfield. Listen, that's all pro safety. Antoine Winfield. He made that cut on. That is not a normal move. Like,
not even a little bit.
Yo, that shit is scary. Like, he accelerate real effortlessly, and those are the scariest running backs. I think they look good. I picked Detroit to get to the NFC Championship. I picked them to the Super Bowl. And I listen. Early in the year, just to give us some props, we said Detroit was going to be good, but for them to compete, we had a couple of things we needed from them. We needed Goff to take a step. We needed Aiden Hutchinson to take a step. And boy, listen, that boy can ball. He is real.
And I want to give a huge salute to their drafting, because Brian Branch is a ball player. Panay Sewell is a ball player. Laporta, ball player. We know Gibbs and my boy J-Mo on the outside would did. Amarai is a new draft pick. They have knocked the draft out of the park the past few years. This is how you build. This is how you build an organization. This is how you treat your fans after you have been terrible for so long. You get somebody in and you build a guy that's gonna come in, establish a culture, and players are gonna want to play for. Salute to Detroit. I want to touch on Goff because I believe that the performance we have seen from Goff this entire year is a testament to, one, perseverance, and two, worth ethic, bro. Like, he looks like a completely different quarterback than he did in that playoff run when they went to that first Super Bowl with the Rams. He is so much more confident, and the funny thing is, the system is very similar to what he was doing in LA. They kind of kept a lot of the zone running scheme. A lot of under center play action, a lot of floods. They attack the middle more than any other team in football. And you can tell Ben Johnson looked at Jared and said, "Yo, what makes you comfortable?" Right, and we're gonna do that. And they have executed that to perfection. And I believe that they're going to. We'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah. But Packers 49ers. Yeah. This one was interesting because
it was so close.
Ish picked the Packers to win this game. And I wanted to pick the Packers to win this game. I just thought exactly what would happen. Yeah. Jordan Love is too young. He's a year away. He is too young. He loses his mechanics too easily. Yeah. And that's what's the frustrating thing I came across watching him. Is he had, I want to say, 3 to 5 times in this game, he had a very easy completion and missed on it because it was such an easy completion. Right. He thought he could just kind of underhand toss it. But when you win this,
in that weather,
And that weather, especially, that of course adds to it. The weather, and then just the moment, the
freestyle.
You can't do that. Like you got to stick to what you know. I'll bring that up again around Josh Allen, but I think that was their problem. They didn't capitalize on the opportunities enough.
Yeah. So for me watching that game, boy, listen, Brock Purdy, it was there. It was for sure there. I don't know if it was your first or second throw of the game. I was only just watching it, but they were playing quarters inside leverage safety sitting on it, and you hit Darnell Savage in the face with one, and he dropped it. And I remember screenshotting it. I will probably make this a TikTok. I'll put it in the background. But it's a clip of when he's released the ball, and you can see the DB lining it up. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at it because listen, I'm a Patriots fan. My team has probably played in more playoff games than most fans have seen their whole life.
Yeah, for sure.
So I know a drop that's gonna haunt you. Mm-hmm. That drop is gonna be in Packers nightmares forever. I thought it was a hell of a game. I thought it was great from Brock Purdy to rally at the end, but we also saw a couple like all right, what is he doing? And we also saw kind of a ghost of the Shanahan system.
Agreed.
With the drop back passing and the protection of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this is what Falcons fans look away. This is what got Matt Ryan cooked in the Super Bowl, getting smashed across his face by Dante Hightower. This was what got Brock Purdy hurt last year. But the little misses where you saw the Packers take advantage and send pressure, they were getting home a lot. And Trent Williams is all pro, best player in his position. Some people think he's the best player in the league on the offensive line, but he can't block all five people. So I think what we saw there was a little worrisome for me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I seen him take those hits, and then let's go to the other side of the ball. Seeing Aaron Jones run all over that defense was very worrisome.
Yeah.
With Fred Warner, Trey Greenwald, Nick Bosa, and Chase Young, I don't expect that to happen. That was very surprising for me. Kudos to the Packers offensive line because they were firing off the ball and pushing that defensive line back. But I was very surprised to see Aaron Jones run all over that field. Yeah. I would like to take a moment and pause right there and say Aaron Jones is probably one of the most graceful running backs we have in football.
Underrated too.
Very underrated football player. Yeah. But just his running style. If you are in like a football nerd, you appreciate that running style. It is he runs so easy. Mm-hmm. He's so patient. Yeah. He gets 0 to 20 in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I love
very
backs.
Very good.
I love backs that change direction very well, but don't always they don't need to.
Yes.
If the hole is there, he goes. Mm-hmm. There he goes. Mm-hmm. 1 foot in the ground. And he does play in the West Coast system with LaFleur a lot. So you can just see how every year he's getting better at it.
For sure.
And they'll be back next year for sure.
And let's also take a moment to realize running backs matter, guys.
Oh, hey.
The 49ers don't win that game without Christian McCaffrey.
Not at all.
The Packers are not in that game last week without Aaron Jones. Yep. Jahmyr Gibbs changed that Detroit game completely. Mm-hmm. Part of the reason the Bucs didn't win that game is because they don't run the ball well. Yep. Ravens, same. Lamar Jackson is a quarterback running back, and then they are able to run the ball as a team. Isaiah Pacheco. Also, don't know if the Kansas City wins the game, and I don't even think if Kansas City can't run the ball this year, they're not. I don't even know if they get out of the first round this year.
And salute to James Cook.
As well. Who ran as well. So these running backs matter. They matter. They make quarterbacks' lives so much easier. They make play callers' lives easier. They make offensive lines. Running backs make everybody's job easier when you have a consistent, efficient run game.
And lastly, I'm gonna shout out Jahmyr Gibbs for this because you're not gonna see this in a lot of clips. Great pass protection. Because when the linebacker go, that's you.
For sure.
And you got to meet him there. And he did, to his credit, a couple times.
Yes.
So salute to him for sure for that.
All right. And then the Ravens, Texans, you're just too young. Simple as that. Just don't have enough. The Ravens, you said this last week, and then I really started to, you said this last week, and then, or maybe 2 weeks ago. And then we sat after the show last week and watched those Raven highlights, and then I watched them play, and this might be one of the best teams we've ever seen.
Yeah, ever. Ever.
If they can finish this off,
ever.
This might be one of the best football teams we've ever seen, and this might be one of the best football teams I've ever personally watched in my lifetime, one of the 5 best. They don't have a flaw on their team. It's not one flaw on their team.
They've beaten 8 playoff teams by 20 points.
That is stupid as hell.
They impose their will on people.
That is stupid.
They are that Ravens team, top to bottom, and listen. Of course, listen. We'll start this way. Salute C.J. Stroud. Salute the Texans. Y'all play a great hell of a season. Y'all are supposed to be there anyway. But like that team is on the border of something extra, because if they get to the bowl, they're not losing to that NFC team.
No,
I don't care who that NFC team is. They're rooting for the Chiefs.
This is their championship game, man.
And that team is just mean. They hit harder than you. They tackle faster than you. Their quarterback is faster than your wide receiver, and they don't want to. And they're not enjoying it at all.
Nope.
That's the problem. They're not enjoying it at all until it breaks you.
Yes.
Until you're broken, they're not having fun.
Yes.
And that is that because they stay downhill. And I tweeted this watching the Texans game, because the Texans just blew out the Browns.
Yes.
Same division. Bobby Slow, extraordinaire. Two great minds going at it. Shout out Mike McDonald. But like, I watched the first couple drives, like, man, it's just nothing like watching a defense get downhill on a quarterback. Just get downhill on everybody. Screens, runs, don't matter what it is.
8 to the ball, 7 to the ball.
You missed that first tackle, three niggas there.
You feel me? So
it's just beautiful.
It's beautiful to watch, truly. And then we're gonna talk more about the Ravens in just a second. So to the Chiefs and Bills, we can really focus more on the Bills here.
Oh yeah.
You called this game. I picked the Bills because I one, because I can pick Pat Mahomes whenever I want to. Like, part of it is just because, like, I know that's the right answer.
Yeah.
So it's just like, let's just have some variety up here.
Yeah.
But secondly, I really did believe in their momentum.
Right.
I believe that their momentum was going to carry them through that game, and into the AFC Championship. And that home crowd, them being at home, changed everything. Kansas City if they're on the road, I wouldn't even thought to pick them.
Yeah.
I underestimated how important the injuries on their defense were. When I made that pick, Von Miller is nowhere close to 100. We're close to 100%.
Yeah.
Trey White was out for the year. Matt Milano was out for the year. And then as the game went on, they lost a couple of DBs. Yeah. Before the game, one of their safeties got ruled out.
They had 3 linebackers active.
They had 3 linebackers active, bro. Yeah. So just a depleted defense.
Facts.
For real. And then your number 2 receiver can't play as well.
Yeah.
That being said, I loved what Josh Allen and Joe Brady had done with Josh Allen. They made the game so simple. People were talking about him having, 16 passes completed behind the line of scrimmage, and I was just like, dude, that's what you wanted.
That's football.
Like, that's what you wanted. The Chiefs designed their defense to not get beat over the top. Yep. The three times they were supposed to get beat over the top, the receivers didn't come down for it. Perfect throws on all 3 of them. So he took the shots. The shots were there. His receivers didn't come down to it. It's a team game. Yeah. I know this quarterback, we get lost in this quarterback talk, and we act like they have so much will and posing on the wins. They have more effect on a win more than any other player. But it's still a team game, and you still do need your help.
Yeah.
So
the Shakir injury hurt.
The Shakir injury hurt, took him out for a couple possessions, and then when he got back in, he was obviously just playing trying to give what he can. So I commend the Bills, but I think this is a testament of, as good as you are, let's start over. And I don't know if you feel this way. I'm assuming you do, because you were saying Sean should be out of there at the beginning of the year. You said this season is going to end in them missing the playoffs and him getting fired. I personally don't think he will, but I still think he should be fired. I'm not going to lie. So how do you feel about, 1, him being fired, and 2, do you think it's realistic for him to be out of there next year?
I think it's realistic. And I think he deserves to be fired. Unfortunately.
Okay.
But first, I think it's realistic because this is probably as easy as it's gonna get.
Agreed.
For the rest of Josh Allen's career.
Agreed.
That contract's gonna kick in.
Agreed.
Mahomes and them, this was their down year. Mm-hmm. This was the time to get him. Joe Burrow's hurt. This was the time. John Harbaugh's in the AFC now. This was the time. Mm-hmm. Halfway through the year, the team was falling apart. You had to replace your OC. You've already replaced the DC. And now the question is, despite the defense playing great the whole season with the injuries, it's what do you do? What do you do? And is that enough to justify having you instead of someone else? Because what you're seeing a lot, and we mentioned this a while ago talking about Ben Johnson, I think, and I want to mention it with Slovic for the Texans, is what you're going to start seeing is some of these play callers, these offensive coordinators, even if they aren't the head coach, they're gonna start getting head coach money to stay. Because organizations like the Eagles are seeing that, like, man, it is a play callers league. So if I'm looking at Sean McDermott and I had to bring in a play caller to save our best player in our best franchise, like, one of them are irreplaceable.
You feel me?
And it's not you right now.
You feel me?
So I think he's gonna go, and I wouldn't be surprised if they promote the OC. But you have to get someone in that is gonna. I don't want to say fix Josh Allen, but you're gonna have to get someone in that's gonna do with Josh Allen what Ben Johnson does for Jared Goff. And you're gonna have to find someone that's going to like really cater to all aspects of what he can bring. But most importantly is you're gonna have to find someone that still allows him to be himself.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's the reason I didn't pick them going into this game, was because throughout this win streak, they won these games taking the ball out of his hands.
Yes.
They were running the ball more than passing. The only game he had more than 300 pass yards. I think he had 2 picks versus the Dolphins. But while that can, in short bursts, sustain you because he's so good in those areas that you can still win to get to where you need to go, past Mahomes, past Lamar, past these great quarterbacks in the AFC, you're gonna have to let Josh Allen go.
Agreed.
And I think when you go into a game like they did with the Chiefs, where you're telling him, "Hey, Josh, just take this every time." When it gets to the fourth quarter and we lose it, and that's Mahomes on the other side, and it's 2nd and 9, and I could really get it there. He's not gonna hit that drag. When you've had the leash on him the whole game and we're still losing, by the time it gets to the fourth quarter and I've been dinking and dunking the whole game and we're losing, it's like, all right, it's time to win the game. You need to have somebody that's gonna meet him in the middle, so he doesn't have to feel like he's gonna have to press later in the game or early in the game. That is probably the most important thing moving forward for them.
All right. So I need the Bills to sit down and go look at Cam Newton's career, because you have Cam Newton 2.0 in your locker room and you finna lose it and you finna ruin it. You're going to ruin his career, because I'm gonna be real. I love Josh Allen. He don't got 20 years in him. He don't got 18 years in him, because his superpower is that he is so unstoppable. Yeah. He is such a freak of Superman on the field. He can't be that at 36, 37. All right, sorry I had to cut. But as I was saying, I don't want Josh Allen's career to go to waste, because he does not have all of the time in the world. As you say, this window is shrinking, bro. Yeah. Lamar has hit his prime. I can say that Lamar came into the league in year two. He was a prime level quarterback, but he actually hit his quarterback prime. Yeah. As I think next year, I think you will see the apex of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's what this season.
I don't think it's this year. Yeah. I think coming in with Todd Monken and Mike McDonald will be there next year. That has been confirmed. Neither one of them are taking head coaching jobs. So coming in there with the same exact coaching staff, most of the same weapons. I think OBJ is the only person at risk of not being there next year. I'm assuming they'll probably get another running back in the draft or something. Coming in there with that system, he is going to be at the peak of his powers from next year to probably 4, 5, 6 years down the line. Then you know what you got in Pat. You know what you got. Harbaugh and Justin Herbert is up in the air, but we think that can be something.
Right.
Burrow and CJ Stroud.
Yep.
And that's 5 quarterbacks, bro.
That's 5 now.
Yeah. And then we haven't said anything about the NFC team. You still got to beat the NFC team just to get it to win the Super Bowl. So and then you have whatever's brewing down in Miami. Yeah. It's good teams. The Jets next year are going to be an issue, bro, possibly
in your own division. Like you could wake up Justin Fields in Miami. Like, that's a very real possibility.
Wake up in Justin Fields in New England. You can wake up in Drake May or Caleb Williams. What's the face? The last one is in New England. Yep. Changed the franchise forever. And this could be the NFL is quick, bro. Like last year, we were saying there's no way the Jaguars aren't in the playoffs. There's no way the Jaguars aren't fighting for the AFC Championship. Yeah. Didn't even make the playoffs.
Not even the best team in the division.
Texans, 5 wins. All right, in the playoffs. Now we're looking like, all right, well, they're Super Bowl contender for the next 11 years. Mm-hmm. So this game moves so fast. You can't waste your time trying to force something that's showing you it's not going to work, trying to work. This iteration of the Bills cannot beat the Chiefs. I think it has to do with coaching. I think a coaching change is necessary, even though I do think Sean McDermott is a good coach and should get a head coaching job somewhere else. Yeah. I think his time with the Bills should just be up.
Yeah.
I think they need, as it said, they need an offensive-minded head coach whose job in there, first things first, is to go in there and make Josh Allen the best version of himself.
Right.
I don't think we have seen the best version of Josh Allen yet. Right. I think Brian Daboll was scratching the surface, but he got a well-deserved head coaching job, and we missed out on that. So he needs a head coach that's going to be there for the next 6 years, that can work with him and he can be comfortable with. Right. Because if not, we're going to look up and he's going to be Phillip Rivers.
And that's the thing.
Without the kids.
I want to transition to some more. So before I start hating on Josh Allen, I want to ask you, as a former quarterback, how did you feel on the 2 decisions from 2nd and 9?
Okay.
From the 2 end zone shots.
All right. So I've had a lot of thought about this because it's real hard for me to tell a quarterback that throwing to the wide open person was a wrong decision.
Right.
And I'm talking about the post to Shakira that hit him that hit his feet. I don't blame the throw.
Okay, right.
I blame Josh Allen not working on his game enough.
That's fair. That's 1,000% correct.
Because it's the right throw.
1,000%.
And you make that throw accurately if you have worked on your mechanics enough to slide right in the pocket, get your feet set, and throw the ball.
1,000%.
But you were pressing it. I think the pressure of the situation was getting to you. Yeah. Remember, this was their 3rd possession in a row where their defense, that hurt-ass defense, defense that was beat. That's why I do think Sean McDermott, if he was take a role and step down as a D coordinator and then to get it higher head coach, I think that would be a very good move. Yeah. But that defense, that depleted defense, has got you 3 straight stops, and I think he was frustrated with the Stephon drop the possession before, the other possession. Now the first possession, I don't think they damn near gained a yard or whatever. I think a penalty held that possession back. So I think you're pressing, and you know who you got on the other side. Yeah. You know a field goal is not going to win you this game. A tie game, you know he's going to go down and get 3. He's going to go down and get 3 points and win the game. Yeah. So I think you got the look you want. Wide open pass. You made the right throw. Yep. But because of your mechanics, you were inaccurate with the throw. Yeah. Because as we keep saying, the left tackle got pushed back into his lap. Salute Chris Jones. Yep. Got pushed back into his lap. You're supposed to feel that as a quarterback. Yeah. This didn't come like it was complete, like it hit his back. Yeah. Like this was at an angle where he should have been able to kind of see that and feel 1,000%. That and take a step over. That's not me thinking that. That is something I know for a fact, just by the way. So again, it's his mechanics I'm more disappointed in. Right. It's the offseason work that I'm more disappointed in Josh Allen in. Not the throw. I'm not going to blame you for throwing it to a wide open receiver in the end zone. I understand the Brady approach, which is take your drag to your all-pro receiver, let him possibly get that first down. If he doesn't get the first down, possibly. That's a dog. Yeah. So, and if worst case scenario, he don't break no tackles and he try to make a move and it's 3rd and 4 instead of 3rd and 9. And now you can run, you can pass, you can get it to 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, run a quarterback sneak. So your options are unlimited. So that is what I will say is you should be more disappointed in Josh Allen's summer than you should be in that decision.
Right. So that throw, I was this guy from the jump, of course, because I hate everything, and I was been a Patriots fan since I watched football. So especially for me, end of game situations, I like seeing and I love that I'm gonna grow up to be this guy, like, you know, the nigga that always talks about Jordan. I'm a nigga always gonna talk about Brady. Like, I love to see cold execution in the clutch moments for the reason you said, because it's all about the work you've done. Because in these moments, in this pressure with this whole stadium on your shoulders, you're defaulting to what's natural to you.
Exactly.
So even if they're in the headset, like, hey, don't do this, or hey, be careful for this, your body, your natural reaction is going to default to what you trained yourself to do. And while Josh Allen is one of the best mobile quarterbacks, you know, ever, mobility for quarterbacks have another layer, which doesn't get discussed as much now that they can run, but mobility inside the pocket. for quarterbacks that couldn't run like Peyton, Brady, Breeze, they trained their body their entire career to little adjustment here, reset, throw, little adjustment here, keep your base. Mahomes, take a step right, keep your base, throw. But when you have an arm like Josh Allen, and you're as big, like he's not gonna tackle me. He's not gonna tackle me anyway. Like, and it's not like he ain't had the juice. Like he could get it there, but he is not. It feels like we're skipping. It's like we're skipping steps sometimes. And that is why I would love someone to come in for Josh Allen to keep him from skipping those steps. Because if you can combine the fundamentals with his just natural gift, I think that would be, like you said, the best version of Josh Allen. But as far as just the throw, I'm not mad at the throw. Like we of course we talked about it in our chat. I'm not mad at the throw, but you better fucking hit it. Like if we're coming down on a basketball, this was an analogy I had. We come down on a basketball 2 for 1. It's the last shot of the game. I can look you off and shoot this pull up, and it's a good shot. But boy, it better hit because you're turning down something else. And I think just in that moment, the reason I was so up in arms about it is because Diggs is gone. That's it. I don't need to talk to Diggs. That is for someone who has been emotionally like devastated the whole year about their production, drop that deep pass. For you to turn him down there felt kind of odd. And that's why I harped on it, especially because it was Diggs. Like if that's Kelsey, that ball's being thrown. Mm-hmm. If that's AJ Brown, Reed,
Justin Jefferson.
Any of these star receivers, that ball is being thrown.
Agreed.
But
I do love that point. That's an important point in this.
But now, you saw their connection the whole game. The whole game, you could feel it. You could feel it watching the broadcast that they were just not on the same page. I think that was probably my biggest gripe about it all. But that is the reason I picked against the Bills, because it's not going to be this year. It may not be next year. We don't know. That's the unpredictability of football. But if Josh Allen finishes his career with 2 Super Bowl wins, I wouldn't be surprised.
Not even a little bit.
But if he never gets there, I wouldn't be surprised either, because these are the type of decisions you have to live with. But in the NFL, it's a lot harder because one decision could send you home. That's how fast it happens. And I was thinking about this, like going into the divisional round, like NBA playoffs come around, your team down 3-2, you can kind of spend a day or so, like, all right, it's over. Like, you really know heading into the game, like, all right, man, these teams go into the stadium.
For my example, last year with the Warriors, I knew it was over going in that game.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was cool. Dash. And for these NFL fans, like, we got here at 6:00 thinking, oh yeah, it's good.
This is a year, bro.
Yeah, this is it. At 8:30, you're still like, hey, we're up. Like at 9:30, the season's over. And that's why
just like that,
the NFL pressure is so different. And you're I wanted to mention your point was so correct, because I try to watch the post game interviews. It's gonna sound a little hatery, just like to see how sad niggas be. And Josh Allen, super sad.
So sad, bro.
But the first thing he said was should have slid over, because that's all you got to do. It wasn't a 0. It wasn't 3 people in the A gap. Literally, take a step to your right, and throw the ball.
That's my point. The mechanics.
But if you watch the video, you can see him when he catch the snap. He is like so ready to throw this ball. He is gunning to let this go.
I see so much of Cam Newton in him, really, and that's another reason I brought up the Bills, is because the Panthers paired Cam with a defensive coordinator for a head coach the entire time he was there, and they never brought a head coach in there that was for Cam Newton, right, and that was going to design this team to make Cam Newton to bring the peak of Cam Newton out,
right,
and that is what I think the Bills need to do, but. I want to hit the Stephon Diggs points real quick, because one, I think he should leave. I think he needs to change the scenery. I think it's time. But two, I have to put blame on Stephon Diggs.
Oh yeah.
I hope he comes in next year ready to shut up and produce, because I watch Bills games. Yeah. A lot of people don't use their Sunday ticket. I had paid for my Sunday ticket because I used them.
Yeah, facts.
I watched a lot of football games this year. I watched like 10, 12 Bills games this year. Stephon Diggs wasn't getting open. Like, Stephon Diggs was getting thrown open, or he was sitting down in zones, which he has an elite skill of finding a hole in his zone. But Stephon Diggs wasn't just beating people in man-on-man. Stephon Diggs wasn't just coming open and Josh Allen was missing him. Yeah. He was not open for him to throw the ball to. So his lack of production was a lot to do with him. Yeah. Not just that offense. Like, do you think they want to be targeting Shakir over Stephon Diggs 8 times? No. Stephon Diggs isn't open. Mm-hmm. And they run plays and they try to get him involved. And you saw earlier in the game, they tried to run a screen pass to him. They lined him up in the backfield.
I'm pretty sure the first play of the game they threw a pass.
Yes. The first play of the game they threw a pass to him, and I think the second possession they lined him up in the backfield and gave him like a little jet sweep or something. Yeah. They were trying to get him involved. He is not producing at the level he is supposed to. Right. He looks a little slow. He's not as quick. He's not breaking any tackles. These are the things I am noticing when I'm watching him. So I need Stephon Diggs to come in and take some accountability, just like Josh did. And I think Josh was very heartbroken, really sad. But bro, you gotta feel this, bro, because you gotta stop letting this happen, bro. You can't go through your whole life and be 0-5 in the playoffs against Pat or 1-4 or something. Like, you gotta get a couple wins against bro in the playoffs, dog. Because I do think your talent is on par with I think Lamar, Josh, and Pat are far and away the 3 most talented quarterbacks in football. Just running, passing, every throw, what they can do at the peak of their powers. They are the 3 most talented. But what I think separates what Pat more than all of them, and Lamar is starting to get up there with that Pat range, is the moments. Yeah. The moments in these games, Josh Allen seems to resort back to the bonehead, athletic freak, doesn't pay attention, doesn't read defenses guy, and Lamar and Mahomes turn into freaks. And when the moment it's time to rise in the moment, that's all they ever do is rise, and that's where Josh has to get better. In the moment.
I definitely agree. I think a couple things. I just feel bad for dude. Like Josh Allen in the NFC would be. Two Super Bowl trips in.
Josh Allen on the 49ers would be a dynasty in right now.
Like even if he wasn't on the 49ers, he would be so far and away the best QB in the NFC that he's at least 2 bowl appearances in.
You feel me?
But having Mahomes in your conference is kind of the Brady effect, where you saw the Chargers, Jets, and all those teams replace their coach every 4 years, or you saw all these teams have to restart. You're seeing that with Mahomes because you know you're gonna have to get through him. Mm-hmm. And I think right now, if you look at the top 3, I would throw Burrow in there for the top 4. I would have Burrow over Allen, but like that would be my group of 4. And what is separating Mahomes for me, because he has been the guy for 5 years, maybe. Mm-hmm. I won't say 6 because Brady was still kind of at the top at the first year. Yeah. But Mahomes, he is gonna sound crazy, but he needs to look at Mahomes as the example, because one of the Mahomes' greatest strengths is his ability to shuffle around the pocket, bounce, and just keep things going. His pocket feel, his pocket awareness saves him from having to run, because he does run come playoff time. But you'll see him so many times, one, and keep his base throughout all his reads, and then throw. I think Josh, with his running ability, and you used to see this with Lamar, is all right. My pocket footwork is less important than my ability to escape. So you'll see them abandon their footwork so that they can have a better run lane, or so I can get out of this run faster. I would like him to do the opposite and use his athleticism to dominate. Like, all right, first guy misses, I'm not going. I'm going to run to space and reset. And you see this with Lamar all this year. I'm going to make a guy miss. I'm going to break out. Okay, we're safe. 2 hands on the ball, and I'm back looking downfield. I think that can help Josh. And you see him do it so much. But I think Mahomes, especially last year when he was hurt, you could really see, like, oh yeah, he could win in this pocket for real. Yeah. And not just like they'll be like, oh, make him beat you from the pocket. They're thinking, oh yeah, stand here and make throws. No, to win from the pocket, you got to be able to protect yourself. And I think that's what Josh can do a little better, to just combine his raw athleticism with the fundamental. And I think Joe Brady there is very, very, very important, because Brady coached Burrow in college. Yes, and Burrow is also one of the best at it. Just little adjustments. He's amazing in the pocket. Yeah. So I think that's the next step for him.
All right.
And it does suck. Losing sucks.
It sucks, bro.
Losing sucks, bro.
Losing sucks.
And it's not like if he was out here stinking it up, like, that'd be one thing.
Like, he's out here giving everything he got, like putting his life on the line.
Even if you want to hate, which I have done for like 20 minutes, you're hating on 2 throws out of a 60-minute game. He played amazing.
He played a great game, bro. Like, if he doesn't play as well as he did, they scored 10 points in that game.
No, the Chiefs had like 10 yards of play.
Yeah,
they were frying them.
They couldn't do anything. Yeah. No hate to their defense.
They was going band for band, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can start pulling out Serbian Denars,
bro. Like
Mahomes just got a nut, and that's the thing. He just got another gear.
He got another gear right now, bro. He got another gear nobody got right now, and remains to be seen if Lamar got it. I think he does, but we'll see it. So the championship games are this weekend. You know what we got? Ravens, Chiefs, Lions, 49ers, Niners. What we're going to do is take some time and talk about the 10 best players left in these games before we break them down. We like to do this. Salute Colin Cowherd. This is where I got this from. But I do think that in the playoffs, your playmakers really do win you games. Right. And this is something you can go witness, and it's not necessarily like you gonna go to a Super Bowl and see Chris Johnson ran for 21 carries, 275 yards. But in the moments that big time players are supposed to make big time plays, they do. You'll see Travis Kelce seemingly always getting open on a third down, a big drive, a touchdown, a red zone. Always making a play. Aaron Donald, game-winning sack in the Super Bowl. OBJ, Cooper Kupp, balled out in the Super Bowl. I can go down the list. We know what Brady's done in the Super Bowl.
Stafford.
We know what these quarterbacks have done in the Super Bowl. We know what Mahomes, Tyreek Hill that one year.
Man, I wake up thinking about them Julio catches every day, bro.
Yeah.
Like that Super Bowl gets washed away because it's the Patriots. They came back, Like, the comeback's a big deal. We had Julio bracketed, and Julio caught everything they threw his way.
I watched that. Those highlights about 3 weeks ago, and I saw every one of Julio's catches, and it makes you think he might be the best receiver ever.
Bro, we had him bracketed.
That shit he was doing didn't make any sense.
We had him inside out coverage, and he was torching us.
That shit literally didn't make no sense, dog. Salute Kyle Shanahan, and Matt Ryan was throwing some dots. That one on the sideline, that I know the one on the right sideline. Yeah. That's one of the best. That's one of the best.
To undercut it.
Yes,
bro.
That's one of the best throws and catches I've ever seen.
There's nowhere to throw that ball. There's literally nowhere to throw that ball. No one else makes that catch. Calvin Johnson.
No one.
Man, I love Julio.
Salute. Yeah. But yeah, let's do the 10 best players in this, and this was hard because we did a lot of good players. We did all four instead of breaking the games up. We just said, all right, let's go 10 best across all four teams left. And so this was a little challenge because there's some dogs on these fields. Some of the best players in the NFL are on this field.
Oh yeah.
So
most.
I will go first. I'll go ahead and go first.
Right.
I'll start from 10. I'll just give my list first, and then we'll discuss after he gives his. All right. So let's start off. I'll give the honorable mentions after. All right. At 10, off of his name alone, not necessarily performance this season, I have Travis Kelce. At 9, I have Amon-Ra St. Brown. At 8, I have Aiden Hutchinson. At 7, I have Kyle Hamilton. At 6, together, because I couldn't really separate them, I have Roquan Smith and Fred Warner. Okay. At 5, I have Debo. At 4, I have Nick Bosa. At 3, I have Christian McCaffrey. At 2, I have Lamar. At 1, I have, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
That is those 10. That was hard. So what I did to do this was I wrote everybody that I could consider in the top 10.
Right.
And then the automatics were Pat, Lamar, Christian, Nick Bosa, and Debo, and Roquan and Fred. Those were going in. And then after that, I was like, all right, who deserves to be left out? Zay Flowers was an honorable mention for me. Jared Goff, of course, Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Branch, who I mentioned earlier for the Detroit. Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle were all honorable mention, and I left all of the linemen off on purpose.
Okay, hold on.
I left all of the linemen off on purpose. This was on purpose. This was just skills position. I should have led with this. I should have led with that. My bad. This was all skills position because there are some really good linebackers. Panay Sewell, linemen. Panay Sewell, Tyler Lindbottom, Trent Williams.
Both of the linemen from the Lions. Bro hurt it. Bro sprained his ankle.
Taylor Decker, I think.
No, the center. The center.
Oh yeah, the center. The center.
Bro, he sprained his knee and his ankle in the same game. He was like, "Bro, stop touching me. I'm going back in. I'm going to play, bro." And then gets the one-on-one block with Vita Vea on one leg. Man, that's football right there, man.
Football, man.
That is football. Man. That is football. So my top 10, a little more defense. 10, I'm gonna go Amon-Ra St. Brown. No. 9, I'm gonna go Matt BK from the Rams. From the Ravens. I'm sorry. 8, that's where I have Roquan and Fred. I got them together. 7, Bosa. 6, Aiden. 5, Kelsey. 4, Kyle Hamilton. 3, Chris Jones. 2, CMC. Oh, no. I'm one off. So Chris Jones 4, CMC 3, Lamar 2, Pat 1.
Yo, Chris Jones, my bad, bro. Yo, this list is wrong if Chris Jones isn't on it. That's it's simple as that.
I got Chris Jones.
It's simple as that. I cannot cap. That's my fault. Take Travis Kelce off, put Chris Jones above Kyle Hamilton, and then move everybody else down. Would be what I would say. Chris Jones absolutely belongs on this list. That is completely on me. So let's go through the list first. Yeah. Travis Kelce, you have Travis Kelce at 5. I had him at 10. Yeah. I have him at 10 because he hasn't been great this year. Yeah. And this was so give you an insight into how I made my list. I told you I got the best players, but then I thought about, all right, how good have they been this year, and how much of an impact do I think they'll have over this next 1 or 2 games they play? Right. And when I look at that, I couldn't leave him out of the 10, even though I kind of just kicked him out. I couldn't leave him out of the 10 because. Okay. That's fine. I leave him out. I keep him in there. I leave him out. I left him out. I mean, I put him in the 10 because of what I saw last week. Yeah. Five receptions, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. Every time he needed to get open, he got open. 2 times trips to the red zone. He hits 2 touchdowns. It just seems like him and Pat have this chemistry that even when he is obviously lost a step, a little bit older, probably only got a year or two left, it's still like when it's money time, I'm still that guy. So that is why I still have him at 10.
So I took players I think are most important to the next 2 games, and I think who will play the best.
Okay.
So Travis Kelce, it's for sure been a down here for him, but I think Travis Kelce's style of receiver is so important in the playoffs, and especially for the Chiefs. Them not having a bunch of weapons, like it's really him, Rashee Rice, and the gang, but also the way he plays is built for 3 or 4 weeks of good football. We're in the trenches. Red zone's very important. Yes. We gotta score. Yes. We're going to Travis Kelce. Yes. And I still trust Travis. Of course, it's my obligatory Patriots shout out to they passed Tom Brady and Gronk. Salute to them for that. Salute. But you saw this with Gronk as he aged, where it's like, man, we're not splitting him out at wide receiver anymore. But the best player on the field is always looking for you. Yeah. So if you're open in these biggest moments, he's gonna be able to get the ball.
That's a phenomenal point. All right. Yeah. Amon-Ra St. Brown. You speak on him. You go.
So Amon-Ra St. Brown. Shout out Amon-Ra St. Brown. Just shout out the whole Detroit Lions from the Hard Knocks. Because I watched the Detroit Lions Hard Knocks last year, and I've been a huge fan since then. His dad was a personal trainer, strong lifter. I'm pretty sure, and he is a dog. It's underrated having a really great slot receiver, but what Amon-Ra St. Brown provides for Jared Goff and the Niners offense is huge. For him to be that small but that physical, of course, adds that to your team. But great after the catch, great before the catch. I'm pretty sure he's all pro this year. But he is a player that is super important if the Lions are going to keep playing football this year, because he is going to have to win a lot of one-on-one matchups. Okay. And I trust him to do that.
And that brings me to Aiden Hutchinson, which is the same thing on the defense end. Every one-on-one matchup he gets on Sunday, he needs to win. Right. He needs to be their closer, and he needs to be the reason why that defense is getting off the field on third down, and why the San Francisco offense is behind the chains on first and second down. That is what he needs to come in and do, and I think he has the ability to come in and do that. Well deserved that number 2 pick, and thank God he fell to them because he has changed their defense for the better. Kyle Hamilton. So Kyle Hamilton is one of the most unique players we have in football, and I don't know if you guys remember this. Subscribe, like, comment, thank you. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Isaiah Simmons coming out of Clemson reminds me of Kyle Hamilton now. Now, the thing with Isaiah coming out of Clemson was Isaiah played linebacker, corner, and safety. And in college, he was amazing. People were worried about how that would translate to the NFL, if he would be able to do it, and he has not been great, but he has been a solid NFL player. Kyle Hamilton, who flew under the radar, some say Mina Kimes, including salute Mina Kimes, we love you. That was the best player in that draft. They say Kyle Hamilton was the best player in that draft, and they don't know how he fell to the Ravens at 12. I agree. He is one of the best players in that draft. If you go back and look at slow 40. That's what they said. Whatever. If you I don't get how they still don't know that. That shit don't matter. Really. But where I was going is, he is 3 players in one. He is a linebacker, he is a nickel corner, and he is a free safety. He is able to play all of those positions at such an elite level and such a high level. And not only that, he knows the game so well and studies so much film that when you line up in certain formations, he knows exactly what you're doing. So it's like you have 2 quarterbacks on defense on the field with him and Roquan. And then the versatility he brings with you being able to play a base nickel package while also having a third linebacker-esque figure on the field. Because last week, the reason the Chiefs were running the ball so easily was because they were running a lot of stretch powers, a lot of tosses out to the outside because the Bills were in nickel coverage. So they were like, we just gonna pull our big lineman out here and we gonna get a 2-on-2 with your safety and your corners, and we gonna win that matchup every single time. With the Ravens, you're not winning that matchup. You're not gonna win that matchup. You might every now and then, but it's not something you gonna want to do. Like, hey, let's run the Kyle Hamilton side. You're not gonna want to do that. So it makes it hard for teams to run on him. And then in pass coverage, he has such good instincts as a safety, and that's what you want your safety. He just Ed Reed-esque, Troy Polamalu-esque. There, his instincts, and he just has a knack for where the football is going, where it's going to be, and he is quick to the ball. Very similar to Roquan, just at a different position and a little bit more versatile.
I had him above Travis Kelce and under Chris Jones, which for a second year player, a lot of people don't know who Kyle Hamilton is going to this game. He's still a very young player. But the reason he's this high is for everything you described. His usage across the field is ridiculous. And kind of what you talked about at the end, we're not big on defensive head coaches, but we are big on defensive coordinators. But I love watching a great defensive coordinator have a piece. And that's what Kyle Hamilton is for probably the best defensive coordinator in the league right now. He is a queen on the chessboard. So it allows him to get away, do different things, and excel at them without hurting the rest of the defense. And you've seen it where he's one of the best blitzers in the league. But he's also one of the best coverage guys and tight ends in the league. But he's also one of the best run-stuffing safeties in the league. And with the way the Ravens play defense, he's so high on this list because heavy is the head that wears the crown too. Like Debo, he's going to have so many different responsibilities. He has to play well. Travis Kelce coming in now, he's going to have to play well. If they win this next game, George Kittle, Sam Laporta coming to town, you need to play well. Chris McCaffrey, Jahmyr Gibbs in the run game, you're going to need to play well. So for them to get to where they need to go, he's going to have to be one of their best players, and I have no doubt that he's going to ball. Like, no, not even. You have no doubt that he's going to be amazing. Shout out Notre Dame. He is one of my favorite young players to watch. Like him blowing up that tight end screen. Like, man, he's one of the players I wish could have played a little earlier. Because he don't hit as hard as he could. Oh, okay. You can tell he don't hit as hard as he could. Yeah. Because if he was drafted in the 05 at that size, he reminds me, and keep it calm. He reminds me of Cam. A little different, but the same way the Seahawks would oh yeah, Cam, you're this.
Cam Chancellor, that is.
Yeah, Cam Chancellor. I'm sorry, but big everywhere on the field, and he sets a tone.
Sets a tone. He really does.
Yeah.
And then comparing him with Roquan, like Cam was paired with Bobby, is just amazing. Roquan and Fred. Yeah. Real quick, I'll let Ish take this for the most part. But Roquan and Fred, you want your linebackers to be different. Yeah. And when I say that, I mean humans. Like humans. Like I want to look at Roquan and be like, all right, he a little off.
Yeah.
And I do.
So weird dude.
Every time I hear Roquan speak, I'm like, oh, he a little off.
He like the evil Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, like same way. Same way Ray Lewis is a little off. Yeah. You can tell he a little off. Fred Warner and Roquan are that. They're both fast to the football. Yep. You can tell they both live in the film room. Yep. And you can tell they both take pride in being the leader and the tone setter for that defense. And you're going to see a linebacker battle this year. Oh, yeah. You're going to see two linebackers that are the best of this generation, really giving Patrick Mahomes fits and giving Jared Goff fits. Yeah. You're going to see them, and if we see them in the Super Bowl, you're going to see a clash of the two best linebackers, sideline to sideline, fast to the football, head down, not missing tackles, just what you want out of a big, mean middle linebacker. Yeah.
That is what Roquan Smith is. And the last thing you said is the perfect part. He's big, he's mean, he wants to play physical, he wants to play through you. Mm-hmm. And like I mentioned with McDonald having pieces to use, he is happy being one of those pieces too. He relishes how he can keep everyone on the team, everyone on the same page. Oh no, you're supposed to blitz. Oh no, you're supposed to blitz. Get in this technique right here. Switch gaps. You see him communicating all throughout the play. And no disrespect to any other linebackers, the backers, they don't all do that though. They're not all quarterbacks on the field. And they're doing that on the number one defense in the league. like this is the first defense ever to lead the league. I think it's sacks, sacks, points, and turnovers. Mm-hmm. Ever. Like, including the 2001 Ravens, 2014 Seahawks, whatever defense you want to name, this defense is on par with it, and it all goes through Roquan. Same thing with Fred. Fred is kind of in a different, him and Fred share this tier now because Fred's been in this tier for a little bit. And Roquan's just getting his recognition, but Fred has been in Super Bowl, been against these great quarterbacks, and he's been competing at a high level, carrying the Niners defense for a long time because of the gifts Fred has as well. His pass coverage, the way he rallies to the ball. These are both special linebackers, and you see it the most in how the other people on their team play
for sure.
And I think
how much better they've made their Sam linebacker,
like Patrick Queen. Dre Greenlaw, there's so much that those teams eat. And lastly, having a middle linebacker that ends plays is so important in the playoffs. So important. So many teams lose games, go home, end their season because they can't rally to the ball and tackle, or they give up yak yardage. Roquan and Fred both offer the great play, 5 yards. Go do another one.
You feel me?
There is no extra on top of it. So.
Debo Samuel. This guy right here, man, is so dynamic. I think Debo's one of the 10, 12 best players in football.
For sure.
I think I don't know if I think that. He is one of the three most electric receivers, I would say. I was going to say the most, but I don't know. Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill is crazy. So, but Debo is different in that yo, I'm a running back too. I actually can play running back. I can line up an I formation and take this 26 dive and hit my head on the goalpost. What he brings to that San Francisco offense allows them to be as dynamic as they are. I would argue that maybe all of the talent over there takes away from what his numbers would actually look like if he was on a Buffalo or a Houston or a Baltimore. Something where he was the main focal point of the options. Like some games, it's all right, we're gonna get Kittle the ball 7 times. Sometimes it's IU, some six times, and then Christian gonna touch the ball 17 to 26 times a game. Right. So it's a lot of mouths to feed in San Francisco, which also, of course, does serve to his advantage. I'm not gonna act like it doesn't. But the way he is able to take tunnel screens 70 yards and hit his head on the goalpost, take a curl 60 yards, hit his head on a goalpost, and then he's able to beat you deep. He has an amazing hands. He has amazing body control. He is his balance is top of the line.
Vision.
His vision, his yards after the catch, his feel for where to go, what moves to make in the open field, because that is a skill within itself. It's catching the ball, being open, and knowing where to go quickly.
Right.
All of those things make him an elite player. And then being paired with Kyle Shanahan, who has mastered the way to use him and keep him healthy and in shape, has done wonders for his career. I actually did not mean to say the healthy and in shape part. I meant to say keep him in motion and using him in different aspects, because I was going to say the one thing about Debo that bothers me is he can't stay healthy.
That's why I don't have him, because I don't know if he's playing.
Yeah, like I don't know if. I think he's gonna play because it's a shoulder and it's not like a tear or nothing. Right. They gonna give him some perks and he gonna get some perks and he gonna be all right.
He gonna be Kodak out there.
You feel me? Yeah. And please get some help. But
hey, free yak, man.
He's one of those free my dog. He's one of those guys that his game speed is way faster than his 40 times.
Oh yeah, for
he
sure.
plays so much faster than you would think he is, and I think that is why his dominance is there. On to Nick Bosa. You can get into Nick.
So Nick Bosa is higher on my list than a lot of people. Like, he has been super productive lately. Him being even on the top 10, a lot of people probably won't like. He's under Aiden. But him and Aiden are next to each other on purpose, because both of these quarterbacks and let's say all three of the quarterbacks left for their respective opponents. It's a lot on them to get home. You're not winning a Super Bowl without a pass rush. No one's done it. You'll never do it. You have to rush the quarterback. And salute Chase Young. Hasn't been the most productive season so far, but a lot of that pass rush falls on Nick Bosa, and for good reason. Defensive Player of the Year, max contract, you held out for it. Yeah. You a dog, you deserve it. Yeah. But Nick Bosa's ability to wreck the game is 1,000% apparent. But like we talked about Kyle Hamilton, with that responsibility comes Penei Sewell coming to town. And not only are you going to need to rush the passer, you're going to need to stand up to that run. You are going to need to set the tone on that line of scrimmage with that 49ers D-line. You cannot let the Lions fire off the ball and run downhill. So I think that'll be really big for Nick Bosa to dominate in the pass game and the run game. Because if you're just, like, if Nick Bosa comes out of this with 3 hurries but 2 tackles for losses, that would be a W for me.
For sure.
Like, okay, you did hit home, you rushed him a couple times, but keep them off schedule. And I think he is the one on this 49ers D-line that can do that consistently and should be expected to.
I agree. I have Nick Bosa at 3 because I think he is one of the arguably the best defensive player, arguably the best defensive player in football. Yeah. We can have a conversation if it's the other 2 guys we just talked about with Roquan and Fred. I know Sauce Gardner, Ramsey has something to say about that. A lot of great defensive players, but I think he is the top of the line, easily top 5. And I think he needs to play like this for them to win this game. If not, that Detroit offense is going to walk up and down this field. If Nick isn't preparing to be a real force, I'm talking 4, 5, 6 quarterback hurries, a sack, 2 or 3 tackles for a loss, and 2 or 3 tackles overall. I need to see Nick Bosa blow up a screen. I need to see him really wreak havoc on Jared Goff, make him second guess. And it's going to be hard to do. This Detroit is good. This is, like we just spoke, these are the 4 best teams in football at the top of the line, so it's going to be hard. You got an all-pro.
It's the best line in football.
Yes, best line in football blocking you. So 3 great linemen on this. 2 good linemen and 3 great linemen on that offensive line. So saying that, I expect Nick Bosa, if the 49ers to win this game, to be dominant, and that's why I have him here. Now, a guy we've been talking about all year, a trade we were very, very high on when it happened. This is the guy who I wonder how you feel. About this. I think Christian McCaffrey, who I have at 3, we both have at 3. I think Christian McCaffrey is the best non-quarterback in football right now. I think as far if we were ranking players during the top 50. Patrick, Lamar would go 1 and 2, and Christian McCaffrey would be 3 if I was ranking every player in the NFL right now. I think the only person I'm giving competition to is Tyreek and Justin Jefferson. I think those will be the next two people. But Christian McCaffrey is the best non-quarterback in the NFL right now. He is the best player in the NFL right now that is not a quarterback. And I don't think it's really that much of a competition. That dude is able, what he does for that offense literally makes them go from a good team to a great team. If Christian McCaffrey, if they had, what's my boy name that was there last year?
Elijah Mitchell.
If he was their starting running back, and let's say, let's just use Brian Robinson from the Washington, just another decent running back. If that was a 1-2 punch, I don't know if they beat the Packers.
No, definitely not.
That's how good Christian McCaffrey is. He's a true difference maker in that backfield from running to catching. He had the most scrimmage yards this year, tied the San Francisco all-time touchdown records, and with Jerry Rice, if y'all know who that guy is, with the determination he runs with, his balance, his vision, his physicality, his elusiveness. I just don't think there's a more complete player in the NFL right now. Like I said, the only argument I would make is Tyreek and Justin, and if we're gonna split hairs, Tyreek drops a few too many passes, and Justin, I don't really got an argument for. Like I'm the bigger Christian. Justin, a damn perfect football player.
Yeah. So. I 1000% agree. Like if you just took like 2K rating wise, what does this player do well? He does everything well at every single level. He catches it short, medium. He catches the ball high if it's away from him. Catches with his hands. He's a violent runner, but he's a smooth runner. He gets to open space, but he'll run through the tackles. He picks up great in the pass protection, but he'll also fight for yards. Everything you need out of a running back, Christian McCaffrey does. But as if that wasn't enough, he's also breaking 1 million tackles and staying down. I got him third just because he can't play quarterback.
You feel me?
Yeah, like if he can throw, he'll be first.
You feel me? And last year they tried to make him. And number one, Lamar Jackson, and this can lead us into the AFC Championship game. It's obvious why we have 1 and 2. It's obvious why they are 1 and 2. So let's go ahead and just kind of venture off. Going into this game, I'm not gonna ask you who do you trust more, or who like all of those topics. I want to ask you, who do you think it's more important to have a superstar game?
Oh yeah,
and that you know what that means. So who do you think is more important to have the superstar?
It's for sure Lamar.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. To have a superstar game in this game,
not to like for legacy, just to win the game.
It's Mahomes.
Okay.
It's Mahomes. Because I think that Ravens offense, the way Lamar plays, kind of like how we talk about Steph Curry, so much of his effect is going to be felt even if he's not playing amazing. Right. Him in the run game, him adding stuff to the using his legs, that is going to be there almost no matter what, because it's really built into what they do. The Chiefs. It's so important for Mahomes to play well because they really structured their team based upon it. There is no other way for them to win. We can run the ball, but to beat this team, you're gonna need three or four Mahomes plays minimum. That's why I think he has to be great for 4 quarters because the team they're playing is gonna require them to be great for 4 quarters.
All right. So my answer is Mahomes for exactly what you're saying, but I'm going to say one statement that encapsulates everything you just said. Yeah. Mahomes has to play one of the best football games he's ever played in his life to win this game.
Thanks.
This AFC Championship game, and this is where we are now, AFC Championship game, Chiefs, Ravens, 3 o'clock Eastern on CBS. I'm very excited if you can't tell. I've watched 18 Ravens games leading up to this moment, so I'm very, very excited. Very excited. But Patrick Mahomes, this game would not be a thought of who. It wouldn't be a thought of who's going to win this game if Patrick Mahomes wasn't playing.
Oh yeah,
I mean that.
Right.
If anybody else, the Texans, Bills, Bengals, Steelers, anybody else was in this game, they would not be a chance. When people did their game picks for the game, it would be a sweep. Yeah. It would be over with before this game started. The only reason we're giving them a chance is because of 15. I think Patrick Mahomes has to have one of the greatest games he has ever played in his life to beat this Ravens team. That's how good I think he is. And I'm not talking about that. Doesn't necessarily mean Patrick Mahomes needs to go in there and throw for 385 yards
and
4 touchdowns. I'm not saying that. I am saying 21 of 25, 265, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 128 QBR, 145 QBR. It's going to take him being so efficient and keeping this offensive head of the chains every single possession. There is no time to slack because one quarter can lose you this game. Yeah. That's how good and dominant and quick these Ravens are, and their offense puts up points in a hurry. To your point about Lamar, their run game makes them so non-dependent on Lamar's points. Right. It's just we got this Lamborghini back here. It's kind of like the off-ball shit for Steph. We got this shit that we can, this high pick and roll where he gonna come up and he gonna shoot the 3 and it's gonna go in. Right. We can do that anytime we want to.
Yeah, shake it dicey. We'll start doing it.
Let me know. Let me know. We'll start doing it. But while quarters 1 through 3, quarters 1.5, 1 and 2 and half of 3. They might just be a balanced offense, and that can win them the game. Lamar can win this game throwing for 160 a touchdown and having 85 on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, he can win that game easily doing that. Lamar is not. Patrick Mahomes isn't coming in throwing for 175 and winning this game. Yeah. No way in hell.
Right. But I wanted to mention, like I said last week with Mahomes and Josh Allen, I'm really hoping because listen, we were super excited to see the Bills Chiefs, and half of me being so excited was that hoping was the Chiefs were gonna win, so you get Lamar and Pat because you called it from the very beginning. We both had this AFC Championship,
yes,
but I just want to see them niggas go band for real. I want to see them open it up because I like it. They have a couple crazy games already, and I love to hear before the game the respect that they have for each other already. Because Lamar and Mahomes both know, oh yeah, that's a guy. I'm different. I'm different. Kind of different.
You feel me?
Like Josh, no disrespect to Josh Allen, but Mahomes, Josh Allen, he's not sweating. He didn't. We didn't cook this cow before. We didn't cook this chicken before. This Lamar dude though. I can't do I can do what Josh Allen do for the most part. I'm not gonna truck nobody. But all the throws, I can do that. I can't do what Lamar do.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to watch. And I guess just to before we do the game picks and stuff like that, I want to, especially on this show, just because I don't know why I've never done this. That Peyton Manning, Tom Brady shit they doing with Josh Allen is over. The nigga with 2 MVPs in the prime. With this other great player, Manning, it's Lamar. This is the Peyton Manning, Tom Brady right here, and these are the 2 best players, in the position, 2 best players in the sport at the peak right now of their powers. They're not looking to get change something like we're talking about with Josh. They're not trying. This is it. This is how they want to play. So I think this is going to be the first step in a very interesting next couple years, because I guess we can do our picks now. I think the Ravens win. And if the Ravens win and win the Super Bowl, we are at 1 bowl for Lamar, 2 MVPs, probably unanimous. And now it's a real conversation.
And that is where I was going.
Yep.
I didn't say this. I forgot to say this. The 1 and 2 we had Pat 1, Lamar 2, both of us did. That can be a conversation next year. Right now, I don't think it's.
It's hard.
It's hard to say it's a conversation because of the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Lamar gets a Super Bowl.
Yep.
I can say this. I can say so. You came in to Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
On that defense was Tyrann Mathieu, Justin Reed, and Chris Jones, Eric Berry, and what's the boy name? Frank Clark. And Justin Houston. So you came in with a really good team and one of the best coaches ever, and Eric Bieniemy. For 6 years, you've had this. You've had this consistency. Lamar has had a bad offensive coordinator. He has had no receiver weapons, and his defense have been hurt every year. They've been good, but they've been hurt. So I look at it, and I say, with that, I still got an MVP with all of that. I still have the highest win percentage ever of any quarterback ever, including you, in the regular season. And I got as soon as I got everything you had, I went to the Super Bowl and won it.
Yeah.
The second I did it.
Okay, and this is the best team in the modern history of the NFL.
And I can argue this is the best team in the modern history of the NFL, and it's because of me.
Right.
It starts with me. Literally. And the reason this is an argument is because where Ish was scratching the surface is Lamar's superpowers are so much different than Pat's superpowers that, like, I can argue Lamar's superpower might be a little bit more than Pat's superpower. Again, this is a conversation if the Ravens win the Super Bowl, which I think they will. But if say this happens, I can argue like Lamar's running ability, the stress he puts on the defense, and now that I can confidently say he's built for the moment, he's ready for the moment. He's going to show up for that. It's a conversation to be had.
So what it feels like for me, because I really wanted to figure out what the analogy would be, because the Brady Payton one I don't like because Brady was just kicking his shit in for so many years. It feels like. And again, listen, TikTok, hear me out. Feels like Magic and Bird. Now, stay with me. Magic came into a completely set environment. We got Kareem. We got this is a championship team. Pat Riley's going to take over. You're going to win early. And you're playing in a way niggas have never seen.
He won a championship his first year.
and Larry was like, man, he came in a little, it was different. He looked different. He played different. But once they both hit, it was, it's these two niggas right here every single year. And the reason I picked Magic and Larry is they play so differently, but they're the best ever at it. So like the way Mahomes plays feels kind of Magic Johnson. Mm-hmm. It feels like, you're not supposed to pass like that. You're not supposed to do stuff like that. And Larry Bird, you kind of can't figure out why it works so well.
Right.
And with Lamar, it's like we just talked about this could be the best team ever. It's one star on offense. Mark Andrews missed a year. Other teams in that conversation: Brady, Moss, Jerry Rice, Joe Montana. Mm-hmm. The Steelers with Lynn Swann and Forrest. Like every other team that you're gonna have in the conversation, best offenses ever. It's gonna be dudes. It's literally like, Lamar, a rookie wide receiver, Odell, and a good line. And for some reason, this is one of the...
And all his running backs are hurt.
Literally. That's what I think makes this rivalry so unique. And that's why this game is so important to begin this. Because if Lamar gets one here, like I said this once we got, the Ravens really might win the Super Bowl. The NFL needs this so bad. The NFL needs this so bad. Because this will gas the next NFL season. This will feed the streets for 3-4 years. Easy.
Right, so let me tell you something. I don't know if you've seen the NFL Raiders this year. They do not need this. No. They don't need anything. Are good. But you're all right. What this would do for next year would the hype surrounding that Patrick Mahomes and Lamar rivalry would be so monumental. Yeah. It would bring like I'm trying to think of something that is it would be the new Kobe and LeBron. Yeah. Like it would be the new Kobe and LeBron barbershop talk, because I would say LeBron Steph, but LeBron Steph was always iffy, and we don't have to get into why. We know why. It was always a little iffy. Yeah. Kobe and LeBron was always just, nah, nigga, this nigga is better because of this. Yeah. This nigga is better because of this. It wasn't because of this. It wasn't all the semantics and KD and this and that. So I believe that will be that argument. It won't be Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Mark Andrews. It won't. It'll be that now. Line them up. I want this guy because of this. I want him. I want 15 because of this. I want 8 because of this. I think that is kind of where we're headed if they do win this game. And in the playoffs, you ain't never beat me in the playoffs. That's one thing Lamar gonna be able to say until next year at least. But
the thing is with the Kobe LeBron person, they're gonna play the next 10 years together. We kind of got Kobe back in competing. Facts. LeBron right to start him competing. So we really never the closest we got was the 2010 finals. Mm-hmm. They're gonna have an opportunity to go at it every single year.
That's facts.
I think that's why this game could be the beginning of how we discuss NFL for the next 10 years.
Excellent. I agree. Yeah. And I 100% agree. Coming in 6 straight AFC championships by the Kansas City Chiefs, which is just absolutely stupid, bro. Just so stupid. The first 5 are all on the road, all at home. This is their first road win. They are 3-1. They are 3-1 versus the Ravens since Lamar got there. But Lamar did win the most recent matchup in 2021 and one of the best football games we've seen. That was a Monday night football game, a Sunday night football game, amazing game, 31-35. Ravens won. But I don't think the record or anything else matters. This is the Ravens' first time hosting an AFC Championship game. Y'all know how that stadium is. Yeah. So with this, it's going to be even more rocky.
Ray going to be in the building.
Ray going to be in the building. And Reed is going to be in the building. Terrell Suggs is going to be in the building. It's going to be rocking in that motherfucker. Yeah. But I don't think the record or the history of this series matters. One, because I don't think Lamar is anywhere close to the player he was in 2021. I think he's so much better. And two, Todd Monken and Mike McDonald as these two coordinators changes this Ravens defense.
And that Ravens roster was ass.
It was ass, and they played a lot of man. Now this year they play a lot of zone, but it's not a soft zone. It's a match. It's a hard match zone that looks like a man is disguised very well. And then they kind of let Kyle Hamilton just kind of roam because they got 2 safeties on the field already with him, so they're kind of just letting them roam down with Roquan in that nickel spot. It's scary. Like, that defense is scary as fuck. So before we get off of this, I do want to ask, who do you expect to have a bigger game, Travis Kelce, or Isaiah Likely? Because I think Isaiah Likely is really important in this game.
I'm gonna go Travis.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Travis because no matter what, Travis gonna get the looks.
Okay.
I could see, especially with the Ravens and how coldly efficient they are, not giving him as many opportunities. While I feel he's much more explosive than Travis at this point in Travis' career. I think Travis is going to get a lot of looks early and often, or they're like early in the game. If he's doubled, once it hits money time, they're gonna look at Travis 4, 5, 6 times in a row.
Okay. I'm gonna agree with you and leave it there because you're right. You're completely right. So game pick. You said Ravens.
I was wrong. I think the Chiefs go.
Okay. So AFC Championship, Chiefs, Ravens. Who do you have?
I got the Chiefs. I had the Chiefs preseason. That's my team. Not my team, but that's my pick. I think, man, we talk so much about where they are in their career right now, and until of course this used to be the show rule. And I kind of want to change it until I see Mahomes not play at a Mahomes level in this type of game. I have to keep giving him the benefit of the doubt because since the first time I saw him in this situation, he's been I don't want to call him perfect, but he's been pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah. I think he's 14-2 touchdown interceptions in the AFC Championship.
He got 2. I think he has 3 losses and 2 of them in time. Right?
Just dumb as hell. All right, I have the Ravens. Yep. I've had the Ravens from day one. I've had them as my Super Bowl pick since August. I'm not wavering from that. I think them having home field changes a lot in this game. And not only do I have the Ravens, I think the Ravens win this game by 10 points. 10 points tough. Or more. And I am being dead serious. Okay. Detroit, San Francisco. Before we break down, who do you have?
I got Detroit. I had Detroit a couple of weeks ago.
You did.
I really trust a couple things on Detroit. The trenches first. Mm-hmm. I think the Detroit Lions will win the trenches on both sides of the ball versus the 49ers. Mm-hmm. I think they'll be able to run the ball, and I think they'll be able to speed up Brock Purdy.
Okay.
I think they have. I don't want to call it similar talent to the Niners because the Niners have several Hall of Famers at every single position. But I think they got a lot of young stars in a lot of places.
Agree.
And it kind of reminds me a little of the 49ers
in 2019.
It really does. Mm-hmm. And I think this is going to be a shootout, and I think Dan Campbell's aggressiveness is going to be the difference.
All right. Ish made the Lions pick the day the playoffs started. When we went through the playoffs and did the bracket, he said the Lions were going to the Super Bowl. Yep. I have the Lions. At first I have the San Francisco and Ravens all year. I have the Lions. I saw enough from Brock Purdy. I saw enough shakiness and his lack of confidence, which we're about to get into. I saw enough to make me want to go with the Lions. I think they have the momentum. I think they have the dogs. I think Jared Goff is better than Brock Purdy. Mm-hmm. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be a big difference maker. Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to be a big difference maker. And that leads me to say we will get a Baltimore-Detroit Lions Super Bowl in which I have.
That won't be a good Super Bowl.
that will not be a good Super Bowl.
That won't be a fun Super Bowl. But, listen, enjoy the Super Bowl this week.
Yeah, the Super Bowls are this week for sure.
And, going into the Lions pick just a little more, because I know it's probably like, oh, my God, the Detroit Lions over the Niners. But first, I think one of the, it's all about matchups, too.
Agree.
If Jared Goff was, on the road to Philadelphia this weekend in negative 20-degree weather, I would feel a certain way, but we're in Santa Clara. Brock Purdy's not a guy that even if it gets wet and windy out there, it's going to hurt both teams. So I think the restrictions you have on Brock Purdy are similar to what you have on Jared Goff.
Agreed.
But I think Jared Goff's a better player who's been there before and who has lived through these moments, who's played against really great teams before.
That's funny because my next question to you was going into this game. We have, on one side, we got the best of the best, and on the other side, we got the best of the best of the mid-tier court.
Game
managers. We got the best of the best of the game managers.
Yep.
Going into this game, who do you trust more? Brock Purdy or Jared Goff?
1,000% Jared Goff. 1,000% Jared Goff. I've always been a big Jared Goff guy. Just because I listen, makes good throws. The stigma on Jared Goff, like, oh yeah, if he gets pressure, he stinks. That's all quarterbacks ever. None of them are good under pressure. That's why people blitz. But I think behind this offensive line, with this many weapons, I think he'll be able to spread the ball and attack downfield enough to keep sustaining drives.
Okay.
And I think that's going to be very important with the Lions. I think especially for the 49ers, a team that struggles to come from behind. The Lions long 10, 12, 13 play drives, 7. They are going to put the pressure on the 49ers to not only execute, but pressure on Brock Purdy to not make mistakes. Because I don't think the 49ers can have a drop back pass 40 times a game, type of game plan and win this game. I think it'll have to be, we need to get our best player the ball 20 times. So Christian McCaffrey needs to run it 15 times. I need 5 screens, that type of work. But if you're trailing, you can't really do that. So I definitely think going into the game, I trust Jared Goff more.
All right. Completely agree with everything you say. I trust Jared Goff more as well. But I'll go to Brock Purdy and discuss what I saw last week that really made me change my pick midway through the game, even after they won.
Because they should have lost that game.
For sure.
1,000%.
I believe that some players have imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And that is crazy. That's a crazy accusation. I know that sounded insane. Yeah. But I see it.
Yeah.
I can see when a player doesn't feel like they're ready for the moment.
Just a little too big.
I've watched a lot of sports over my life. I see this in basketball and football. I can see when a player realizes I'm looking at LeBron. Yeah. Or I'm looking at Kobe. Or I'm looking at Ray Lewis coming through this. I can see when they lose the confidence. I think Brock Purdy lost his confidence.
He looked scared.
He looked scared. Yeah. As soon as that savage drop pick six happened, he stopped being aggressive for the rest of the game. He had throws over the middle open. He had deep throws open. He had posts open that he had been throwing all year with confidence, with fierceness on a rope. Yeah, and it just stopped. And maybe you can say some of that is the rain.
Right.
But I personally don't think so. Yeah. Because I saw him the last possession start to make these throws. So I don't think it was the rain.
Right.
I think his confidence got shaken.
Yep.
Playing the Lions, your confidence can't get shaken for a quarter or 2 quarters. You're going to lose the game.
Yeah. And I think, go ahead.
I do believe the Lions are going to come in here, win the coin toss, receive the ball, go down, and score.
Yep.
And if they do that, that is enough to shake Brock Purdy's confidence. And don't let them not match the touchdown, and it's a 10-0 game. It might be over in the first quarter.
That's my thing, is probably this is the last of the, we we hadn't really mentioned this because Ravens are so good, Chiefs are so good. You know, we are not worried about, you know, it getting out of hand. Like even like you said, it'll win by 10. It'll still be a game. The last thing the Niners and Brock Purdy want is we're coming out in the second half, and the world's on your shoulders. We are at home we are at home in front of our fans, and we down 13-7, gang. And you know what that stadium sound like? Nervous. Everyone in the building, nervous. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be on the other end of that. Mm-hmm. And I can see that being a real situation Brock Purdy has to deal with, where you know, hey, we may be trailing late. You know, it gets a little tight. I don't want to be the reason we really lose. I don't want to. I see how they do that. I see how they do that. I don't want to be the reason we really lose. And you know, most of the times that's the reason you do.
Agreed. All right. Last week, Jared Goff. 287, 2 touchdowns, 30 of 43. Yep. Jahmyr Gibbs, 104 total yards, 74 on the ground, 40 in the air, and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown also had a phenomenal game. Going into this game, who do you think is the X factor for the Lions?
I'm so glad you asked that, because I think I know who's going to win this game for the Lions. Mm-hmm. And you know, we've been really good at picking X stars in the past.
Yes.
And Jamo's going to score 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
I
like that.
I think right now, what is going to end up happening with the Lions is they're going to run the ball, they're going to play physical, and that's going to open up their play-action passing game. And the 49ers, if you're going to attack them, you're not doing it through the middle. You're not doing it through Fred Warner. You're not doing it through Dre Greenlaw. You're attacking the corners, and I think his big play capability can really stretch the 49ers. And I think he's going to have deep shot, and the way they use him, gadget plays, sweeps, jet sweeps, I think he's going to put an impact on this game that way.
All right. I love that answer because I do think a big play or a big play or two on a 2nd and 4 that flips the field, or makes a important possession, a quick possession, and go up 4, go up 7 or something, changes his game completely. I love that answer. I'm gonna go to the defensive side of the ball, and I'm gonna say Chris Gardner. I believe he has completely changed that defense.
For sure.
I believe the Eagles miss him a lot. Not a belief. I know the Eagles miss him a lot.
Hell yeah.
He is going to play such an important role for this defense because he is an excellent safety. What an excellent safety does is make quarterbacks second guess themselves. Mm-hmm. And that is exactly what you want Brock Purdy doing, is dropping back, thinking he has something. He says, said Hut, turns to fake a handoff to Christian McCaffrey, looks up, and it is not what he thought he was looking at. And Chris Johnson has the ability, along with the defensive coordinator, of course, has the ability to put the Lions in positions and walk down to the line and get back up real quick, or come down, start 20 yards deep, and then come up and fly up to the line of scrimmage to the flats. Right. He has the ability to confuse Brock Purdy so much that I think he is capable of making that big play. Yeah. That he got one, he talked shit to Baker last week and then picked him up. I think he can do. I think he can do the same this week. Get a big turnover or just a big deflection that leads to a turnover. I think he is their X factor because their defense is going to is very important.
1000%. I can see him drawing a unnecessary roughness on Trent Williams.
Feel me? You feel me? Just anything. Just anything.
I love defenders that chirp. I
love defenders.
And he don't never stop talking.
Never.
Salute to him for sure. Glad to see him get back off that injury too.
And I will say if Debo can't go, they're not winning this game. If Debo's not playing, I don't think the 49ers really have much of a chance. And lastly, Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner will be very important because I said it earlier. Lions love to attack the middle of the field. Yep. They love to attack the middle of the field.
Yep. And listen, somebody's gonna have to tackle Jahmyr Gibbs.
Amen. Hey man, and somebody's gonna have to do it.
I watched that game versus Aaron Jones. Mm-hmm. Jahmyr Gibbs house in that.
Okay,
you're not touching him like that. That long run in the fourth quarter.
Agreed. That's ball game. That's ball game.
That's
ball game for sure. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. All right. Last question of football, and we'll run through some quick shit. Does a Super Bowl make Lamar Jackson a Hall of Famer?
Easy. I think he's a Hall of Famer now.
I can make that argument.
2 MVPs get you in the Hall of Fame.
I
barring injury, he'll be fine because he'll have numbers. But 2 MVPs get you in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, so
yeah, they put Big Ben in the Hall of
Fame. with the bowl though. If he retired after the bowl, he would still go in. I think.
If he gets this bowl, he will be in top 10 discussions.
Thank you.
And that's how I feel about it.
I think if Lamar wins this bowl, it's an argument to be made. He is 7 through 10 as far as all-time quarterbacks.
Easy.
Very easy.
And on the flip side, if Mahomes win this bowl, he's 3. Stamped. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peyton side's over.
Yeah. I don't...
Because right now for me, we can do this real quick. Right now for me, it's Brady, Montana, Peyton, Mahomes. And then that fifth guy, it could be Steve Young. It could be Rodgers. It could be Elway. That fifth one, it could be a lot of different guys.
I got Elway 5, Steve Young 6, Rodgers 7, and then Breeze 8, and then Marino 9, and 10. I could really got Cam. So yeah, I definitely think he can really get up. Like Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl. Rodgers only won 1. Yep. Rodgers got a zillion MVPs and his numbers look crazy. Right. But Breeze never won an MVP. Yep. I think he's better than Drew Brees. Like I would take him over Drew Brees.
That Drew Brees shit gotta stop, bro. I gotta get a nigga from New Orleans on this show so we can argue. That Drew, bro, niggas be like. I started. So one of my other New Year's resolutions was I'm gonna start replying in threads on Twitter. Like I love doing that.
No, we definitely need to. It works. That's how you get followers. That's how you get followers. Like
no cap. Yeah. It's so fun. But it was like Mahomes ain't passed Drew Brees yet. I was like, damn, Mahomes passed Drew Brees 2 seasons ago. Mahomes' first year starting, I will put against any Drew Brees season. Any Drew Brees season.
Like that.
Like with no doubt about it. I love Drew Brees. Salute to him. But we got to stop putting Drew Brees in that top 3, top 4 quarterbacks discussion. Yeah. I watched Drew Brees' entire career. There was never a day on earth he was the best quarterback in the league. And you can argue it was never a day where he was the second best. Like we gotta stop. Like amazing passing yards, but top 3, top 4 QBs ever don't go 3 years without making the playoffs. There's no 500 seasons where you're in a division with a better QB. You're in a division with multiple MVP winners. Because Cam was better than you for sure that year he won MVP. And Matt Ryan for sure had a better season than you when he won his MVP.
That was back-to-back years.
Like people was eating in the NFC South. And it wasn't you. Like niggas gotta stop with that Drew Brees shit, bro.
He didn't win the NFC South after 2010, I want to say.
Yeah, like,
2010. 2010.
Bro,
stop.
They was getting punched on.
Like, stop it, bro. Stop.
And then you cost your team a Super Bowl, arguably.
Hello.
You was holding that team back easy. Hello. Talk to any Saints fan. You were the weakness of those 2018 rosters.
All right. Amazing weekend of football. Yeah. I am very excited. This is, like you said, bro, this is like the beginning of an era in this sport. I do believe with Lamar keeping his coordinators 2 years under that. I think we're gonna be right back here again next year, looking into literally 365 days from now. But
only Mike Evans will be on the Ravens.
I think. Yeah, that's a good one. Mike Evans, Stephon Diggs. Yeah. It's a lot of moving pieces that I think will happen in this offseason. But one thing that's going to happen that I know is going to be there is 15-8, and as long as them two there and that defense is there, 18 over there, 18 over there, 18-0 over there, or 6-0, they can be fine. So going into just a little quick hitters first. Did you listen to 21's album?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, no, I remember I hit the chat when it dropped because kind of nobody say nothing.
Bro, nobody said.
And then I was like, yo, this 21 album crazy. He's like,
yeah. I listened to it late. I didn't listen to it like 6 o'clock the next day. But when I put them out, I was like,
I love 21 album. Personally, I love 21 album.
I love 21 album. I love it.
21 be getting out.
I think he went 15 for 15. Bro, I don't think it's a bad song on there at all.
You can tell 21 be around some niggas that know what they doing with this music shit.
You feel me?
You can tell he was on tour with Drake. You can tell he be on tour with niggas that know what they doing.
Because it was a little. it was versatile, but 21.
Yeah.
All the girls' records still felt like 21 records.
Yeah.
The Drake record that was supposed to, I think it was Sneaky. It might not. No, it wasn't Sneaky. It was something else. It was a Drake Jumbotron-esque record on there, and it was still 21-esque. It still felt like 21. So even when he was stepping outside the box, he never lost who he actually was, which is very important when you are crafting an album for a core of your fan base. He also went number 1. I think he did 135 or 140.
Yeah.
So salute, bro. Red Sky, Red Rum, All of Me, all stupid. Letter to My Brother is dumb. Yeah. The song with Burner Boy is crazy. Yep. Just the features are amazing. Song with Summer Walker. That's a song for the women. And salute to the women. I really like this album. I'm surprised. This will be in the album of the year contention all year. For sure. He came in and got busy. Right. Lastly, I just want to salute The Rock. This is big. Like, this is some... we don't come in here and just salute The Rock for no reason. We never talk about wrestling. That's why Chris ain't been back on the show. Fuck no.
Only intern to get fired.
Bro.
Nigga tweeted some wrestling shit.
You got fired by some 25-year-olds.
Nigga tweeted some wrestling shit.
But The Rock, if you do not know, has become a TKO board member. Yep. And it is only 12 board members, so that is a very exclusive membership to get, exclusive title position to get. That came with $30 million in stock in TKO and a $465,000 yearly, what do they call them? Residual pay. Residual pay for using the likeness of the Rock in the previous years, because they have ownership over it. The wrestlers give ownership to their name, so they've had ownership over the Rock. He now has complete ownership over that name, and because they've had ownership of it, he gets $465,000 every year for the rest of his life just for that aspect of it, along with the $30 million in TKO stock, $491,000, my bad, and. The TKO, if you don't know, is WWE and UFC. Exactly. They brought them and can join them. And his I don't know if you know this, but his dad and his granddad were wrestlers in the WWF, which is now the WWE. And The Rock came up in that. The Rock wanted to be a professional football player, fucked his knee up, chose wrestling and became the biggest wrestler in the world. Went from the biggest wrestler in the world to one of the 5 biggest action movie stars in the world, and then went from one of the 5 biggest action movie stars in the world to one of the biggest businessmen in the world and most recognizable public figures. So this is just a testament to hard work. Just really, like, if he can do it, anybody can do it. The Rock just grew up in Hawaii and the Bay, close to the Bay. So it's really just a huge salute, because we don't get these positions. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we don't get on boards. We don't get these. We get partnerships and we get brand deals. And we get we get the bag. Yeah. You feel me?
Sponsorships.
We don't get equity. We don't get ownership. Like, his kids will be eating off of this equity.
Dog, UFC WWE equity is nuts.
That's crazy. And
that alone is crazy.
And then on top of that, he is a part of the combination of the what is it called? The XFL, and then the other league that was them, and they came USL, and they came together and made the UFL, which is United Football. United Football. Yeah. So they came together, made that. So The Rock has just been making moves for the past year, and salute, bro. I don't care how you feel about him as an actor. This man as a businessman, as a person, I hear people talk about him.
Personally, I think The Rock pretty funny.
I think The Rock is a cool guy. Yeah. I don't know where this hate for The Rock came from. Like y'all be acting like The Rock be on interviews like, I compare myself to the Denzels of the world, Leo. Like, he don't be saying, like, he just go in there. He knows he's The Rock in every movie. He knows he has a role. He feels and he's good, and people go pay to see him do it, and he's good at it.
I mean, that's what was the movie with old girl, with Madison Pettis? The Game Plan? That's a classic.
That's a classic movie.
That's a classic movie. Leonardo DiCaprio can't do that.
Fuck Leonardo DiCaprio.
He can't do that, bro.
That was crazy. but also, the movie on Disney Plus, The Jungle Book, watch that with a woman. That's not a movie you would watch by yourself. But it's like The Jungle Book or something. It's really good. It's with Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt, salute. One of the best actresses in the world, and married to John Krasinski. So salute that for that because that's my dog. But
Krasinski.
Yeah, yeah, that's my dog. So I just really wanted to salute The Rock, bro. That shit inspired me and gave me a sense of urgency. Like, dog, like we can really do this, bro. And him getting ownership over the name The Rock is very, very important. Salute again to The Rock. And I think that was it. Salute to Harbaugh. I think that was the right move that they made. We get new Kevin Gates and new Benny the Butcher tonight. I'm expecting that Benny the Butcher album to be special, man.
That Benny Butcher album gonna be crazy.
Man.
Last thing we have is Drake being pop.
Yes, we did
mention this on the Year Rapping show because it was.
We talked about Drake. Oh yeah.
But it was like this year, like it wasn't.
Yeah.
But listen, y'all gotta relax. Gang. He is. I'm sorry. He is. And the thing is, what confused me most is he's told you he was like 3 or 4 times. Like, and I think what comments said today, so you'll be watching this. Well, I won't say today. The comments he said what comment said on the 25th was probably the most accurate description of it is Drake comes from hip hop. And that's okay for him. It's okay for him not to be hip hop right now because that is kind of what hip hop is, where you're not limited to just hip hop. Like Jay-Z's a businessman. Kanye does, fashion. Lil Uzi's a rock star. Like it's, Andre 3000's on the flute. Like it's so many different things.
Lil Wayne's on Undisputed.
Lil Wayne's on Undisputed at tennis matches. Like it's so many things you could do. So when Mos Def walks through Target and Passion Fruit plays, yes, that is not hip hop, but it's 1000% okay. Drake could be hip hop at any moment he wanted to. It's not a slight to Drake, but y'all gotta stop. Because even if it was a slight to Drake, Mos Def can say whatever he wants about any rapper, whether it's right, whether we agree with it. What he is, if anybody can have an opinion on rap, it's Mos Def.
You feel me?
So the discrediting of Mos Def, that's not gonna work. Just argue with him. But I don't think he meant it as like a super slight to Drake. But Drake is a pop star. Drake got a song called a pop star. Like he's told you, rap is something I do on the side, which 1000% is correct, and that's okay.
He said it all.
Yeah, that's
all I had. Yeah, Drake is a pop star, bro. I don't know. I don't know where else we want to go with this. Why y'all get so mad? Why do y'all get so offended? Yeah. Why people can't critique Drake? Like, why do Drake fans think he's above critique? It reminds me of how people treat LeBron.
It's
fans.
it's the same niggas, bro.
Yeah, facts.
Those be the same niggas. Bro. Think about for real. Why you watching this? Think about it right now. You're the biggest LeBron fan you know is the biggest Drake fan you know. I guarantee it every single time.
Yeah, very close. Very close.
The niggas be right there, bro.
I don't know what it is with that, but like trying to discredit Mos Def and talk about him and pull up his discography in his first weeks. Yeah. Like, dog, shut the fuck up.
That shit was so funny.
That's why, like he wasn't even talking to you.
Right.
Like that message wasn't for you. It wasn't for you, dude.
Literally.
You feel me? Be a Drake stan. Be happy. Go listen to your Drake music. That message wasn't for you. And again, it wasn't a slight. And if you listen to the rest of the interview, or at least the topic around the interview, he wasn't even really trying to diss him. He was getting to a greater point. I heard the rest of the tangent after that. He was getting to a greater point. And what he was really saying about Drake is when all of this comes, when all of this is happening and this world is what it is, and we're going through the things that we're witnessing, when do you say something?
Yeah.
When do you stand up and use your voice to say something that matters?
Yeah.
And not just put out Target music so women can shake their ass.
Yeah.
That is what Mos Def was getting around to. Not that I'm slighting him because he's the biggest rapper in the world, my nigga. Like, do you know how many rappers tried to be Drake?
Right.
Do you know how many rappers tried to sing? You know how many rappers have tried to make these melodic ass records that go up in Europe and go up in Houston all the same?
They playing this shit in Alta, dude. You
feel me, dog? Like, that's not normal. Yeah. Passion for Fruit is not normal. Sweeter Man is not normal. One Dance is not normal. Hold on, we're going home. Hotline Bling songs are not normal. Yeah. Controller to do for a rapper, dog. Yeah. It's not. People wish they could do it, but that is pop music because it's popular music. Yep. And Drake is a pop artist.
Facts.
Simple as that. Salute. Episode 64. Like, subscribe, comment. As we always say, salute to the women. We do this for y'all. We wouldn't be nothing without y'all, especially the women of Atlanta. I went into my office yesterday, got racially profiled. So that was cool. It was cool.
That's kind of crazy.
Well, my nigga, like I walk in, so they have a meeting with all the managers. It was like a get together, so they could all meet in person. So all the managers were there, the CEO was there, and then a few account managers were there, and then me and Taylor were there.
Yeah.
I don't get there until after lunch though. I came in at like 12:30 because I do it. Coming in there all day. Right. What the fuck am I do that for? So I walk in though. I walk in and as a young black man with hair down his face, it's real awkward walking into a room with 12 middle-aged white people that don't understand anything about you. Yeah. So that's awkward and nerve-wracking in itself. So I walk in and I'm like, luckily I've seen my manager and I met him in person before. Right. So he was the first person I talked to. And then the CEO in there is a family friend of Taylor. So I have met him. So I said what's up to him as well. And then said, hey to everybody. And this lady looks at me, older, probably mid-50s white woman, and says, are you the one that had the baby? I said, what?
Am I the one?
I said, no.
Yeah.
I said, absolutely not. I did not have a baby. And my manager was like, oh, no, that was Gabby. She just had a baby. And she was like, oh, I just thought it was you because you had the same hair as the baby. Yeah. The baby that Gabby had, she's a white woman that had a baby with a black man. So the baby
So the baby had, okay. First of all,
I have dreadlocks, dude.
First of all, the idea that the baby has that hair texture is ridiculous.
Yo.
Like,
look at my hair, please.
Yeah, she was like really racist. Like,
I said, how in the fuck?
Yeah, no.
I was like,
she was like, y'all both had that skin. Like, y'all both had that skin.
Dead ass, bro. That's all it was.
Brown.
Like, what? Hey, what are you saying, bro? Bro. Nah. But salute episode 64. We love you guys. We'll be back next week with a guest. You guys have an incredible week. Stay safe and enjoy your championship football.
Oh yeah, next week is C4.